So begin drawing that first slash mark. We're going to try to keep the sizes the same as we go. Press the forward button to advance to the next frame and draw another slash. And remember that distance that you drew it from. The onion skinning is going to help you by showing you the previous drawing in green. So you can always do an approximate spacing as you advance down that timeline. So don't worry about getting super accurate. Try to get consistent in your spacing so that the spacing between the slashes will always be the same and equal in length. When you are done, you will see the green and red onion skinning, the before and after the current frame, which will be in blue. Press play to see the animation. It should appear like it's moving at a constant speed. Now let's click on Modify Layer button and add a layer and reduce the opacity of layer 1. Start drawing slashes again, but this time start out with the slashes super close to each other and incrementally opening up the space as shown. Again, don't be bothered with exact measurements. All we're trying to do is get a feel for the spacing. Do your best to get the spacing increasing bit by bit as you see here. If it helps, try increasing the spacing maybe 1.5 times the distance each time. But anyway, just eyeball it for now. Press play to see your animation, and it should look like it's speeding up or accelerating. Add a new layer, and let's start decreasing the spacing. Or in animation terms, we call this a slow in. The slash will appear to slow down as the spacing starts to cluster together. Sometimes we call it cushioning. Slow in means to slow into a resting pose. Slow out or increasing speed is slowing out of a resting pose. Start out by making a big first gap and then get progressively smaller in the spacing. The trick here is to make it progressive and uniform as it slows down near the end, when the spacing starts to really cluster and get close together. It's okay then at this point to trace over the previous slash. In 2D animation, this is called a traceback. Traceback keeps the drawing alive and keeps it from freezing and pixel locked. Pixel locked actually means that the pixels themselves are not moving at all and they seem to be frozen. And that's the thing that takes the life out of a drawing. Next up is the slow out and slow in. We're going to combine the two above exercises into one. Most objects and body parts will have this kind of motion, starting from a resting pose, accelerating and coming to a stop. Pendulum swings are endless slow outs and slow ins. A head turn, for instance, starts from a resting pose and starts to move and then ends into a resting pose at the end, or a slow in. Beginning, middle, and end.